Thank you so much for being here and welcome back. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So today I want us to discuss about the experience of studying abroad. We discussed about the first
First time coming
to
to
America
America.
or first time going abroad.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to discuss about the academic part.
Okay.
Do you think it is easy to start in America, or would you rather, if you have been given a chance of, like, if you would take it back, you would rather start back home, or you think it's okay to start in America?
Well, good question. And I think I have two answers for that. I think going to school in America is better because I feel like the education system over here, it's the way it's been put, the way it's been, you know, organized, it's easier compared to how it is back home, like academic wise, and how everything, the syllabus, and you know, everything has been set up. But also, it is easier to go to school here if you're not distracted by other things. If you don't have financial problems, if you don't have family problems, like you're good, you're just here to study, you don't have any other things going on in your mind, then I feel like it's easier to come to school here. But the educational system back home, I haven't gone to college back home because I
I
came,
understand.
yeah, because I came here straight after high school, so I can't say as much how it is. But just thinking about it, I feel like it would be harder for me to go to school over there. But yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I ask that question because I also came as a teenager, just
Mm-hmm.
like you did. Just finished high school, straight to America and start.
Yeah.
And yes, I completely agree with you. The American school system, it is easy.
Mm-hmm.
But, like you said, it's not easy if you have
This
financial
problems.
distraction.
Yes.
So, what would you suggest to somebody who's trying to come to America to study?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, what would you suggest?
I would say if you want to come to America to study, get your money up. Get your money up, have a financial strategy. Just, I don't know, man. It's hard looking at it in a way like converting the currencies from Tanzania or somewhere else back in Africa to USDs. It could be a lot of money. But if you could save up like way before and just come over here to just study, it will be way easier. Or you can come here and try to support yourself a little bit, and if your family can support you in a certain type of way, that will also reduce that burden. But just coming here and say like you're in school full time, then you gotta work and support yourself, you gotta pay the bills, you gotta it gets really stressful. I mean, it is possible, but it gets really stressful at some point. Not everybody can do that. It's not for everybody. That's what I can say.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, if someone get the chance to come to America as a student and she doesn't have financial or any family support either in America nor back home, but she got that opportunity, would you say can she take it? Can she not take it? And if she takes, what are the chances of her to see how easy it is
It is.
to go to school in America?
I would say take it. take it, come, try your best, work hard. And if at a certain point you feel like you can't do it, at least you can say I tried and I failed. So I'll say take it. I've seen people, I've known people who came over here with no support from back home, like anything. I mean, I support myself too, but every time I fall and I feel like I can't do it anymore, my parents always, try to support me in a certain type of way. And the first 2 years that I was here, my parents were paying for everything, so I just started supporting myself recently. But yeah, I'll say take the opportunity. Come over here. You never know. You might come here and meet people who will be willing to help you. You could find a church community. I know people who have been helped by the church to like pay for their tuition, accommodation, and all that. And yeah, I'll say take the chance.
Okay. So how can you find those resources apart from the church? How can you find the resources that can help you out? Because sometimes we have like English barrier.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So she might went to school all the way to high school, but she was still struggling in English.
Yeah, I understand.
So communication, the communication maybe she still has the communication challenges. How can that person be able to get the resources with the English barrier?
Wow. That is gonna be a really hard question for me to answer because I never got to face that challenge. I mean, I'm blessed. I grew up speaking English since I was kindergarten, so when I came here, I never got to have that problem. But wow, language barriers. I mean, there is so many immigrants here in America who also don't speak really good English, but you can see them. They things go well for them. They communicate with people. They try to understand with each other. So Google Translate, I'll say, or yeah, you always meet some people who understand that not everybody is from America. People from different countries don't speak English, so they'll try to sympathize with you on that, and try to help understand you so they can be able to help or support.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay. Because the reason I ask you that, because if you come to America as a student and you focus in school, it's so easy to make A's. Like you can make
Definitely.
A's just like
Yeah, if you just
eating
have
candy.
school and that's it.
Because our system back in Africa, I know all the Africa continent, maybe other part of the continent, Europe, it's usually harder compared to American system of school. Is they make it easy, which is advantage
Yeah.
for the people come from the abroad. But it's very, very, very challenging when you come and you have your whole village, like your entire village, like they send you there so you can become, my brother will say, an ATM.
Oh my God, yeah. I hate that. I hate that concept.
Yeah, so your parents now, you are gonna be, you become the father and the
The
mother
mother,
to
everything.
your family because you are in America.
Yeah.
They will they will not consider that you are there as a student.
That's true.
So it will pull you back, and you will be like struggling studying, struggling to make an end.
For people who are not even here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you suggest if somebody comes in America and she or he has the entire village that that's the entire village send that person, go there study, but remember us? What would you say to that person?
Wow. I will just say, first and foremost, you're the one who is here. You're the one who's going to school. you're the one who's working, you're the one who's struggling. So before everybody and everything, take care of yourself first.
Okay.
Second, try to make the people back home, your family, your village, try to make them understand.
Do you think they will?
I know that's the hardest part. It is so hard to make them understand because I feel like when you're back home, when you're back in Africa, you have this mindset like, oh my God, America. Once you touch down America, there's like money on the floor, money growing on the trees. You just got it. Like you're there already, but it's not like that. So as much as how hard it is to make them understand, just do it, cause I will never burn myself out to feed somebody else. Like I will not do that. I'm the one who's working my ass off over here. I'm the one who's going through all these challenges. I'm the one who, yeah, and I feel like it's not fair for a whole village to be looking up to a child. You know,
So,
that is just not fair to put all that weight on their shoulders. If you
but
ask me.
if I ask you, I understand. If you ask me, I will say the same. But if unfortunately there are, I know I'm speaking this because I know there's a people who came to America has been saying with the entire family, like the whole clan, like let's say not village, maybe the whole clan and the brothers, the sisters, the cousins, the auntie, the uncle, all of them, they will be looking at this particular Hope. Oh, Hope is in America now. She's going to school. She's going to be a doctor. And we still need a piece of that.
All right, looking at it on the positive side, I'll say, all right, make that factor be a motivator for you. Make that motivate. Oh my God, people back home are waiting for me, are looking up to me. Let that motivate you to work hard, to study hard, and give back in a certain type of way to your people. But as you do that, I'll just say don't burn yourself out to please other people.
Okay.
That is just not fair. And yeah, if these people really care about you, they'll also think the same thing. Like,
You will think these key people, yes, they will
yeah.
care about you. Do you really think they will think?
I know it's hard. It's hard for them to think like that. And especially, I feel like once you come over here, there's a certain mindset shift that you get.
Okay.
And the way you think is completely different with how they
They
think.
think.
So it will be hard to explain that factor to them. But all in all, what I'll say is always put yourself first.
Okay.
Always put yourself first.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one question. Another question: what will be a very beneficial academic ways to start with?
Academic ways, what do you mean?
Beneficial to the student so that they can maybe be able to save the money, or like instead of going to university, maybe they can start with 2-year college community, the community college, or will they go straight to university? What will you think is beneficial for them? Where can they start so they can be able to push forward and saving money?
I'll say starting with a 2-year community college will be a good idea. Though for some, depending on what you're majoring in, for some programs you can't find your major at a community college, so you just have to go to a big school. But if you're able to start with your prereqs or whatever at a community college before transferring to a big university and getting into whatever program that you're studying for, that will be a good financial decision. Because also most community colleges at the financial aid department, they have grants, they have scholarships, there's always some way that they try to give to their students to, like, reduce
The
that kind,
course.
yeah, the coast. So I will advise to go to a community college first and transfer to a big university, depending on what you're majoring in.
And how do you get, so once you just get to school, how do you find out that, oh, they got a grant for international students?
All right, that is hard to just know. For
Okay.
me, I got to know those things through word of mouth. You know, people talk about it. I'm like, oh, okay. That's how most of the things that I know is because I hear people knowing about them. People will say, "Do your research." You can't research something that you have no idea about. You know,
Yes.
you need to know something so you can research about it and know more about it. So yeah, when just word of mouth, or if you have a certain idea, try to ask, or you can always go talk to your international advisor. They sometimes they don't be knowing everything, to be honest.
That's very true.
They don't, not just everything, they don't be knowing a lot of things. So but try to talk to them. They might have a certain idea
Okay.
of, yeah, of how to help with certain things. So you speak to them, or just go straight up to financial aid department, talk to them, share that you're facing some problems financially. If if they got funds, they can help you. If not, then yeah.
How can you just came to school and
I
they
know it's
consider
hard. You
you
got
got money
money, yes.
because you apply for it and you
Yes.
got the visa and you showed the bank
Bank
statement
statement. I know it's
that
hard.
I'm able to pay for it. So
That is
now you
hard.
just landed in America knowing that you don't have that enough money. You go straight. How are you going to get that confidence to start with?
To be honest, I'm the wrong person to be asking that question.
Okay.
Cause,
Because I
yeah,
know
once you land in a different country, you can't just be overly confident because you don't know how these people work.
operate.
Yeah, operate. You don't know how these people think. So you might try to. That's hard.
So the reason that's why we're talking at something like this in this broadcast to help out, to
Yes.
send the information to the people who are there that looking at me, hope, oh, you went there as a student. Oh, Janet, you went there as a student. I can do too.
Yeah.
So they want to know a little bit, okay, how can I do when I get there and my village send me?
Yeah. Wow. Another thing that I'll think about,
Okay.
if you get to meet people who relate to you, people who are from the same country as you're in, y'all are most likely to have the same challenges, same problems, and all that. And if they're there before you, and they might have more information because you just got there.
Do you know how hard it is, African
It
people, to
is
give information to the others?
very selfish.
Man, sometimes I
Very
just wonder,
selfish.
is it just
Tanzanians
no, I
or
believe it's Africans.
Africans.
It's not just Tanzanian because I've heard people from Nigeria saying the same thing. Like
Yeah, I've heard
I've
them. I've
heard
heard
people
that
from
too.
Kenya, but sometimes people from Kenya they do give each other information,
Information and
but
resources.
they have a tribal
Oh,
issue.
the
If
tribalism.
if you are Kalenjin, they won't probably Kikuyu probably won't give you the information, but
That is so primitive. Like, I'm sorry,
so
Kenyans.
the
You need to
Kenyans
do
have
better.
that. So I've really hate that because I have friends. I have Kenyans friends.
Yeah.
It's hard for African people to give each other information,
Information.
especially when you just
You just got
you
here.
just got there.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help out to give the information out there for everybody, not just African, everybody from Europe, from Asia, from wherever the continent you're from, and you are trying to come to America as a student, and we are here as a student. I have been a student. I'm not a student no longer, but I went through it. That's what I would say. I went through it. She's going through it. She's still a student. So we are trying to send the information to you guys. So listen all the way to the end so you can get information and you can share with others to help out. So I'm back at you.
Yes.
So you will say if somebody come,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have that confidence, they have English barrier, but they do have international student
Yeah, the international student
student
department.
advisor.
Yeah,
Yes.
advisors.
So you will suggest for them to start with them.
Yeah, talk to them. But for like financial problems, I think it's gonna be hard to talk to them because you know the whole bank statement thing. You're here, they assume you got money. You prove to them that you were able to support yourself financially. So I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know a way to approach that.
So you will think like at least to wait for the
A
first
couple,
semester.
yeah, first semester or like at least 2 semesters. Then you can say something like, "My parents back home are struggling. Maybe their businesses are not going well. You know, things always happen,
Things
and
happen, yes,
they'll
things really happen.
understand."
Because I remember I have a friend of mine when she first came to America. She was a student, and her parents had money too. She was a rich kid. She was in Europe. She lived in Europe before came to America. So she came to America to she lived different country for Africa. They got money. She got here. She just went half
A semester.
half of a semester. The parents, the father died. The whole thing shifted the roller coaster. Like the roller coaster, like it was like a I don't know how to explain. It was like a flip
Flip. Yeah.
of the life of
Wow.
her life. Like
Things
everything
changed, everything.
changed
Yeah.
suddenly within 3 months of her being in America.
Wow, that's really sad.
That it was hard,
Yeah.
very hard. But I was already here, so I knew how to direct her
Okay.
what step to take. So please share, subscribe, have information. So to me, I would say you have to have the proof because she had the proof. She was able to send the death certificate to show to the
International-
financial advisors that
Okay.
she lost the father, which in a later time I also happened to know because I've lost my sponsor. My sponsor was my uncle. I've lost him. So when I went through that, that's when I knew, oh, when you lose your sponsor, you can get. But me it was a whole different. That was it when I've already transferred from community college to the university.
Okay.
Then that was happened. But when I was in community college, I was able to get a scholarship.
Okay.
It did help because I didn't have to pay for tuition, even fees. I think I only paid for the book, and the books I paid it through working at school.
Okay.
So when you work at school, they give that 20 hours per week.
Per week, yeah.
I couldn't make 20 hours because I was taking so many classes because I wanted to get out of there. So I was taking so many classes. And to me, it was very beneficial. I didn't have the community, the village waiting for me because the village really knew I was studying.
Yeah.
But I had a brother too. So he was taking care.
Oh, yeah.
The village, he sacrificed himself for me to go to school while he's taking care the village. I still have the village. Not now. He had to take care of the village while I'm going to school. So he gave up himself for me. I thank you, my brother. And so I'll take you back to if you come to America and you know the village sent you, wait for at least one semester. After the one semester, you can now go to the international advisor
Okay.
and ask what they have. And then you, at that time, within that 6 month, As Janet said, do what? Find a community.
Community, yes.
Find church. While you are there, you can hear the word of mouth. Express yourself. I am an international student.
Yeah.
And then you can also get information about other small factors about food and everything else, clothes, and you can also find somebody can say, I will host you, so that you can get out of from the dorm
'Cause it's
to
expensive.
save the money from instead of paying for the dorm. I only stayed for 2 days in the
The
dorm.
dorm? Wow.
Only 2 days.
I stayed at the dorm for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. It's really expensive thing at the dorms. We're paying like almost 5,000 per semester.
For just a living.
Yeah, just staying there. I mean, but of course you get you're being put in a meal plan, so when you go to the cafeteria you get food for free, but it was still a lot of money. It was still a lot of money. Like,
So if somebody comes and they stay on at the dorm, my suggestion will be find somebody, find community, find somebody so you can get out of the dorm.
yeah, that's true.
What
mean-
would you suggest?
For me, it was better when I moved out of the dorms. That's when I got to meet more people, got more information about a lot of things. Cause I feel like when you're at the dorm, especially if you're new, you're just gonna be in your room, cause you don't have friends. The athletes most people who stay at the dorms are athletes or international students, and most athletes are only friends with their fellow athlete friends, and it's really hard. They're always practice, game, class. They're always doing something. So you stand a higher chance to make friends from people in your class, which is really hard to do, like how we discussed in the past episode. But yeah, try to get out of the dorms. Like, yeah, once you find a community, try to just explain that you need to move out. There could be other college students around your area who are looking for roommates. There's yeah, that's how I got to move out of the dorms. Like, a lady from my church helped me. She was like, "Oh, you're paying so much money to stay at the dorms. I'll try to help you to get a roommate." And she did. Somebody who went to my church knew a friend who was graduating and she was moving out, and somebody else has to stay there because she had other roommates. So somebody has to take over that room so we can all pay the rent together.
Yes.
And that's how I was able to move out of the dorms, and it was cheaper, it was easier. I made more friends, I got more information because my roommates were international students too.
Yes.
They were Nigerians. I got more information. I got to, be able to go outside. I didn't have a car, but I made friends with their friends who would come over, pick us up, we'll go out together, eat, do things. So it's healthy to stay out of the dorms, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree. So what we were saying is, when you come to America as a student, try to find a community.
Yes.
If you are Muslim, find a Muslim community. If you are Christian, Buddhist, wherever the belief you are in, find a community. And while you have that community, express yourself, which is very, very hard for people from my country.
Yeah, it was hard
to
for me
express
too.
themselves.
Yeah, it was hard for me too. But yeah, like they say, closed mouths don't get fed. So
Yes.
if you express yourself, people will know what you're going through, and there might be somebody in the midst who might have information or will also give themselves out to help you. So yeah, as hard as how it is to express yourself, try. Okay, you don't have to force yourself and like vent and give all of your problems to somebody, but like just talk. Oh yeah, this is where I'm from, this is what I'm going through, but yeah, I'll figure it out. And they'll be like, oh yeah, we know somebody else who's going through the same thing, or somebody else who can help you with that. And that's how people help each other.
Yeah. So don't close the door.
Yes.
To yourself, because like we discussed in a last episode, it's kind of hard here, but it's not that hard if you try to figure out
Figure it out.
things, like, because they are with people willing, very willing to help.
Yeah, very.
Like the people that helped me when I was going to school, Nancy and Dale, I still talk to them till today. They are very, very good people. I love them. They did help me. They feed me. They they clothed me. They did everything. Like pretty much they were like my parents. So you might find people like that. So another question: while you're studying in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody comes. They wanna do nursing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think should people do nursing or should they do what they wanna do?
Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. People will pressure you to be a nurse, and they'll tell you to do that because of the money. You know, because nurses make a lot of money, and you're always gonna have a job if you're a nurse. But people don't tell you how burnout you can be being a nurse. Working in healthcare is not for the weak. If you're not passionate, you won't last. Like if you're not passionate about it, then it's gonna be really, really hard. You need to love doing what you do. And yeah, that's all I can say about nursing. I think not just nursing and other majors, just do what you're passionate about. Just go to school for that. In America, you can be anything that you want to be. There's opportunities for different kind of careers everywhere. So people just suggest nursing because it's always in high demand and you'll always have a job as a nurse. But I don't know, if you're not passionate about it, don't force yourself to
So,
do it.
so like I've seen people, they came to
Yeah.
America, they came to do, they already had a degree back home, so they came here to do masters. So when they came to do masters degree, they started business administration
Yeah.
and other stuff. Then next thing you know,
Nursing.
it didn't work. They had to go become nurses, and many of them are nurses. So is this nursing field is for African? Because most Africans, when they come here, they become nurses. That's all they know. So I'm trying to rephrase this question, like, is it because they are afraid of not having a job? Does it really nice pays you, or do you have to really work overtime to get that money? Is it easy like what they say? Or because I've seen people work double shift, two jobs, and they're nurses. So
Wow.
is it really realistic like they say? Is there the money there as a nurse?
Well, if you're a
Or is it
nurse,
just like better because you are sure that you can find a job?
I think it's job security. Because if you're a nurse and you're working two jobs, then why are you a nurse? Then maybe you're doing it because you're passionate about it. But if you say that I want to be a nurse because I can secure a job whenever, and it's a high, it's in high demand, and I can always, get paid well, then you have two jobs. That just, I don't know. It just, to me, it doesn't sound right. But for most Africans, this whole being a nurse thing, it's through what people pressure you. Oh, if you become a nurse, da 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 da. Da. If you become a nurse, you're always gonna have a job. If you become a nurse, you're gonna have so much money. You can feed your parents back home. You can do this. You can do that. But I think people need to stop doing that. People need to stop doing that. And I believe that these people who are being taken care of by nurses deserve being taken care of by people who love their job, by people who are passionate about taking care of them, not people who are there for the money. Like, definitely. I mean, because at the end of the day, whatever you do, of course, we work so we can get money and pay bills and support ourselves. But in healthcare, because you're dealing with somebody's life right there, I think it's better for you to be able to connect with them in a certain type of way emotionally. You gotta be passionate about that. So
So what else will they do if
there,
they can't become the next? Something that will be easy to capture for them to fulfill their lives.
there's so many things to do. You just figure out what you're passionate about. What I feel like everybody has dreams. I mean, everybody has to have that, oh, I want to go through this certain career path. And if you have that something like that in mind, then go for it. You want to be an engineer, go to engineering school. You want to work in tech. Tech is very broad. Go ahead and yeah, work in tech. You want to be business administrator, marketing or whatever, go ahead and do that. Don't be pressured to do something that you don't want to do just because, people tell you to do it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I can
it's
relate to
true,
that.
but
That's
but
why.
then do you know how many Americans studying business administration, and when you weigh out the chance of you being hired
Compared to a nurse.
compared to the Americans, it could be Caucasian or could be Black American, and you as a somebody from outside America. Do you think they'll have the chance? And now that the DEI,
Oh my God. When you talk about this
now that the
thing.
DEI is no longer there, because maybe the DEI was helping the diversity. What would you say?
Um, wow. With this whole DEI thing, ever since it came, I've seen there's so many people who have been laid off from their jobs. People who have been hired through that DEI program, they've been laid off. And it's hard. It's hard. But I will say, as long as you have the qualifications, you stand a higher chance,
Okay.
regardless of your race, regardless of your age or where you come from.
Okay.
If you are if you have a good resume, you have a good CV, you are overly qualified, then you stand a higher chance to be hired at so many places.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I've heard this. People who comes here and they have like master's degree, doctorates, they have low chance of getting hired compared to the one who have a just degree,
Okay.
because
Uh-huh.
the higher education you have, that means they're gonna have to pay you
I'll pay you
more,
more.
while they can pay somebody with a degree.
Great. Wow. I've never heard of that one. So
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
So how do you do it to stand out and be able to be paid good enough
Mm-hmm.
with what education you have? How, do you have any idea?
I really don't. Wow. I'll just go back to setting up your make sure that you're overly qualified. It might not be educational wise, but skill wise.
Okay.
Yeah. Make sure that you got higher skills
Okay.
compared, because you might have a doctorate, you might have whatever, all those degrees, but you ain't got no skills.
Okay.
You just have the degree. But yeah, if
Experience.
you need to start somewhere to have an experience.
Yeah.
You can't just get there. So even, yeah, I mean, experience, of course, it's good, but of course you
So how
have
do
to,
you get the skills without experience?
with your skills,
Yes.
that's how you
Get the
get the
experience.
experience.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So I have two more questions. Then I will let you go. So the American system, school system,
Mm-hmm.
in a class,
Mm-hmm.
how easy to understand the instruction, and how easy to how hard it to understand the instructor, how easy to go if you didn't understand him or her, the instructor, to go and ask for finding a tutor, like.
I think it's easy. For me, it's been easy for me to understand in class. I never had to need a tutor.
Okay.
If anything, I was a tutor. So so
Okay.
yeah, people used to come to see me. But yeah, there's always tutors in the library. There's so many resources that people may not know about. Because when I used to be a tutor working at the library, people didn't know about that. People didn't know that there's people who you can set appointment with and they can help you with your homework or understanding something that you missed in class. So there's always so many resources that you can make use of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one last question.
Yeah.
So you just came to America. You are a student.
Mm-hmm.
You are in a dorm. Um, what will be the first thing so you can get, instead of going, you already went to international, you already registered and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What will be the first thing if you take back? What will be the first thing you should have done to make yourself more comfortable?
First thing that I would have done to make myself more comfortable. Wow, that's a very broad question. I think for me, I was a little comfortable at the beginning. At the beginning, I was a little comfortable, and where I went to school, the international advisor, me and her, we were friends. Like yeah, used to go out, have lunch together. We used to, yeah, send each other tracks on Snapchat. She was in my Snapchat and I was in hers. We used to FaceTime. Yeah, she was a really good friend. So she always tried to make me comfortable, and she was always very curious to know about my culture, so I think that's what connected me and her more. And also I had certain friends who were also from Tanzania who had their cousins here, so most of the times I'll be hanging out with them. So yeah, we'll go to their place, just chill, have a meal, chat, and we used to stay at the dorms too as well. So yeah, we'll just at the beginning I was comfortable, but later, a little bit later on, I think um yeah, when my friends, me and them were not like talking like how we used to before, because we couldn't see each other as much anymore. So that's when I started feeling alone and things started, going south from there. But I was comfortable from there. Yeah. I'll say your international advisor can also help you to make friends. Like, yeah, my international advisor did try to connect me with other international students. Though, yeah, they were athletes, so it was really hard for me to click with them because no time to hang out. They're always all over the place. They're always busy. But yeah, I'll say build a good relationship with your international advisor. Some of them do understand the things that international students going through. The whole concept of coming from a different country to a whole new country where you know nobody, you're just there. They can sympathize with you on that and try to help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I would say when you first came to America, you don't know anybody, you don't have family, you don't have nobody. You are international student. Ask for, they have international groups. Like there's a specific they meet. They have specific days they meet international students. They meet. They have like international club. It's for the all international. So you ask about where can I meet other international, like just ask it in the beginning so you know the schedule when the other international student meet. They usually have specific days like twice a week something. And also try to join groups, like ask about other groups, like me. I was that was for me was automatically I was selected, but then I have to say yes or no to the Phi Theta Kappa, because of course I was honor roll student. I had all A's. So when you do academic well, they have this. They saw more than Phi Theta Kappa.
Yeah, you get there's all right, I never got to be in any club. I mean, I was in one international student club where I think I was a secretary. I don't remember. Yeah, but I was somebody on there. But there was, I'm forgetting what this thing is called.
Sigma Theta.
Yeah.
They have so many like
The sororities. Though, okay, this is a topic for another day. Me personally, I will not encourage you to join into any fraternities and sororities. I mean, I don't know, but we can talk about that one later on. So
Okay.
many reasons, but yeah, I don't support it personally. It could be beneficial for some other people, but if you ask me, I would never join into one.
Okay. To me, I would say join, but we will discuss this topic in another episode. So stay tuned. Come back for another episode so you can hear this topic. We're gonna dive in deeper on this topic next episode. So for today, I think we're gonna finish with this one. What is your wisdom for this topic today? Wisdom word for this topic today.
Words of wisdom for today, I would say try to build community. As much as how hard it is, try to find a group of people where you can just fit in with them, people who you can relate to, talk to, people who will give you information, people who will support you. Doesn't have to be financially, but they can, just being there, listening to you. That does something. So yeah, don't isolate yourself. Don't be an island. Yeah, that's that's what I can think of right now.
To be an island. Okay, for me, I would say the word of wisdom today. I'm gonna give you one. For today's topic. When you come as international student in America, the first thing, express yourself. Don't have just have that confidence.
Yeah.
It's like you have made miles away, like you have made that far. You landed to America, you are here as a student. Man, first of all, pat yourself on the shoulder. Man, I did it. And then don't be discouraged and just kill yourself. Have confidence that no matter what, God got you, you got yourself, and everything will be just fine.
Yeah.
And ask questions. Do not share, like don't be scared to ask questions.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. So thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, Janet, for being here. And the next episode I'll have Janet again, because we're gonna have this specific topic that we already introduced to you. So stay tuned, come back, and God bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.